Yeah, welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. What's going on, Zacchaeus?
Hey, what's going on? It's good to be here, for
Yeah,
real.
man. Been a minute since we recorded 4th of July weekend, all that other stuff going on. You know what I mean? But we back.
Yeah,
We back,
man.
you know what I mean? So, yo, let us know what we getting into today, man.
Yo, we're getting into the, RIP to Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, the wrestler. Also, we're getting into the Haitian president, Moise Juvenet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting into him. Yeah, we're getting into him. And then we also get into Cosby. We get ended off with Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
So, that's what we're going to do right now. So, ready for our show? We're ready. We're ready to talk about our show now. We're ready to go into it now. So, those who are listening, tune in. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're informed. We hope that you get a lot of juice from our show. So, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so start us off, man.
yo, I want to begin to give a nice condolences, R.I.P. Condolences to the family of Mr. Paul Orndorff. Condolences to his family. Also, R.I.P. to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, the wrestler that he wrestled in the. But I would say that, my gosh, well, I was barely born. The late 70s. Very popular, became very popular in the 80s. He was during the those who lived in America. He was living during the WWF era when it was WW no longer, it was not called WWE, it was called WWF.
Yeah.
World Wrestling
World Wrestling
Federation.
Federation, yeah.
Yeah, back then, and Mr. One, if you grew up in the 80s in 1983, 1982 as a kid, you seen Mr. Wonderful, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Junkyard Dog, Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Those popular names stand out, and Mr. Wonderful was one of those popular names that stood out.
Mm-hmm.
So he passed away in his home, suffering from dementia. That's what I read, and I couldn't believe it, man. But he was 71 years old, and Mr. Wonderful was like a when Hulk Hogan was there, Mr. Wonderful was there. At that time back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I think he retired back in I would say the late mid to late 90s. He retired. But
Mm-hmm.
he will be missed and always remembered as Mr. Wonderful. He'll go down. He's already a Hall of Fame in wrestling already.
Yeah.
So those who didn't follow wrestling back then, who follow wrestling now, look him up, Google him, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff,
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the brother, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rest,
one of my
rest in peace.
favorites.
My condolences to our condolences to his family, man.
Yes, 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 and we had a crazy last Wednesday. Um, the president, Jovenel Moise, was killed,
Mm.
murdered, and because I follow Haitian news, and
Mm-hmm.
I dip in and dip on the Haitian news, I was able to. At first I thought it was the rebels because you see in Haiti, it's where they burn every time they do it's a unrest.
Yeah.
They burn tires. They burn. It's a unsafe place to visit. I went there as a missionary in 2017 to a place called it's a place where they bury the ones from the earthquake, the terrible earthquake that happened in 2011 in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Titanien in Haiti. Though a lot of Haitians not familiar with that, but that's like an unknown place in Haiti. That's where they had the missionary grounds. But Haiti, it always needs help in Haiti. Always need intervention in Haiti. Always need aid in Haiti. Because it's a lot. The people, the rebels take over the streets. They, if you heard of, when you don't ever go to Haiti just to say there's a visit, because even if you're Haitian, they look to call you for ransom. So it's a serious thing in with the Haitians. So all this time when I heard that Moise Jovenel was killed, I thought because it was from the rebels, Haitian rebels, because I really believe they wanted him out of office.
Yeah.
He was supposed to leave since February. He served his time, but they wanted him out of office, and I thought it was them. But when I looked into the news, these men were not Haitian. They had two Haitian Americans that was arrested, along with the non-Haitians. The non-Haitians were I believe they were from the Hispanic countries, one of the Hispanic countries. They spoke Spanish, and from what they were speculating, they said there was during drug trafficking, and President Moise was able to stop them from drug trafficking. And that kind of messed up their operation. But there's another speculation that it was all a setup. It was a setup because they wanted them out. It was a setup because they wanted him out of office. So they do what they had to do to get him out of office. From what they were saying, one of the rebels was saying, that was one of the murderers that was caught, said that they didn't mean to kill him. They meant to just arrest him, but they didn't want to kill him. But his wife, and during the raid, they shot him 12 times. From what I heard, they gouged out his eyes. They shot him up 12 times, and his wife was caught in the crossfire. And right now she was taken to Miami Hospital for treatment in Florida. But when this happened, they just need a little intervention and help, because it's just one thing after the next, man. And my heart goes out, and I pray for Haiti all the time, and condolences to Moise Joven, condolences to his family, and R.I.P. to Moise Jovenel. When I think about that situation, man, it was strange, man, because how was, it was a setup. People from Colombia, it was a setup. And how they came in there, and they came into Haiti, and that's a good to tell you. It was a setup. They came into Haiti, and they shot him in his palace. How was that? The whole thing was arranged as a setup. The whole setup.
Well, look at it this way. I would be inclined to believe that was years or months or whatever, type of setup. I don't think it was a spontaneous one. I'm pretty sure that was planned out for a particular amount of time.
Yeah.
Hidden in plain sight. But I want to go back to what you said. You said Haitian American. What would that mean?
Yeah, two Haitian Americans were caught.
Okay, so what would that mean? Two Haitian Americans. Are these Haitians that were born here in the United States and then they went to Haiti? I mean, is that what that
yes.
means?
Or no, it means that they were born in Haiti, but they live in the United States.
Okay, so they were born in Haiti and they live in the United States.
Yeah,
so they were able to find addresses, citizenship.
Yeah, yeah. They was in on the whole in on the whole murder. They was in on it, and they were caught to see that, but the Haitian government wanted to let them loose so they can do what they do. Do what they do.
So
When I mean do what they do, what I mean do what they do is I mean that they wanted to let the soldiers that arrested these guys. They wanted to burn them on the streets
so
because al-
I want.
although,
Uh huh.
oh yeah, I
Go
was about
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
say,
Go ahead. I'm
although,
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I got a theory that I want to.
yeah, although Haitians was against Duvernay being in office, they were upset and uproar that foreign foreign assassins came in and killed him. Their own, he was, although they wanted him out, he was their leader. So, and that was a disrespect for having, even, for having these foreigners come in and kill the president. It's disrespectful. I mean, I don't care how much Juvenated wanted them out. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve it. His wife didn't deserve that.
Well,
You know?
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and I want you to think with me here.
Hmm.
Who's to say that you said it was? And I'm just going over what you just said because I don't have an article in front of me, and I don't know everything about this whole situation. Two Haitian Americans and a Colombian,
Two Asian Americans and like four or five
four or
Colombians.
five Colombians.
Hmm.
Who's to say that those four or five Colombians didn't grow up in Haiti?
Well,
Something to think
well,
about. Something to think about.
but the thing is,
And I'm gonna get back to them Haitian, quote unquote Haitian Americans, after you answer that. But yeah, go ahead.
um, if it's Spanish speaking, um,
I mean, the Dominican Republic
people,
is next door. That's Spanish speaking as well.
exactly. Yeah, but nobody foreign is gonna grow up in Haiti. Nobody in the, unless you're a missionary. Nobody that's Haiti's like a taboo place to go.
Yeah.
Unless you're Haitian yourself.
Well,
Unless you're Haitian yourself.
well,
No,
and we're gonna get into that because I think a lot of people are not understanding what we're saying because they know zero knowledge about Haiti and why Haiti is, as you say, seen as a taboo country. So
yes,
we're going to get
yes,
into some history about Haiti in a second, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah. They were not, no person of Colombia or anywhere
Mm-hmm.
that's not Haitian, non-Haitian is gonna grow up in Haiti. Haiti's a place that you just don't, go. People
Mm-hmm.
don't even go there for vacation. If a
Mm-hmm.
person is gonna go that's non-Haitian, they're gonna go as a missionary to Haiti. Nobody is gonna go for a vacation to Haiti or even grow up in Haiti. Haitian is known as the most poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
So in a way, it will never have a Colombian that's living in
Some
Colombia. First of all, to South America,
some
Colombians will
some
never
would
go to Haiti.
some would also say the most corrupt government in the Western Hemisphere as well. Some would say that, but that's
Yes,
debatable. Other than it just being the poorest,
yes,
other than it just being the poorest, some would also say
yeah,
that that's the most corrupted government. And
yes. They
yeah,
will say that.
yeah.
Yes,
So go ahead. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's like, I just found it kind of, but to me, I just found it kind of, the whole assassination. I first found it to be very, very unusual. But because I scratched my head like, why is Colombians going in there and assassin? But to me, I'm thinking that Jovenel, Moise Jovenel had a plan to build Haiti, but the Haitians were different from me and say no, he didn't. They wanted him just out of the office because he served his term, and he they wanted him out. But still, it was an inside job, I believe, because why would you have this man because he didn't want to leave office? It was a whole setup to have this man assassinated. To me, to me, I believe that Moise Jovenel was had a plan for Haiti to see Haiti elevate. I believe that, but some people differ. A lot of Haitians were different. Say no, he did not. He wanted to be a dictatorship. They will say dictatorship, but is that any reason to murder somebody over a dictator? You know,
Yeah, but wasn't what
who ruled us?
didn't Haiti have a form of dictatorship before this guy?
Papa Doc.
Yeah, before
Yes,
him.
Papa Doc.
Okay.
Papa Doc, 1960s and 70s, Papa Doc reigned over Haiti in the 1960s and 70s. He was a dictatorship.
Okay.
He did not, and he wasn't murdered. He just died naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, not all dictators are able to be murdered. And you notice how I said able to be murdered because any
Mhm.
any dictator that people probably been wanting to do that to, let's just keep it real, they haven't been able to touch them. You know, we still have dictatorships in countries going on as we speak. And then also, let's not forget that, we've had dictatorship right here in America, slavery and Jim Crow. Those were that was dictatorship law specifically aimed at black people.
Right.
And now Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. But George Washington wasn't. Thomas Jefferson wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So and I would say that George Washington, if you were president at the time of slavery and Jim Crow, to me that makes you a dictator. Oh, people didn't think about that. If you are a leader of a nation that has any type of dictatorship, then you are a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going by that premise, that would classify you as such. Something to think about.
Yeah.
The reason why people don't think about that is because Jim Crow laws weren't on everybody. They were only on black people. That is a dictatorship. People think because slavery ended that everything was all peachy. No, the heck it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. They celebrate Juneteenth like it was peachy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's a different story altogether.
Right. So back to Haiti. People are probably wondering, why is Haiti the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere? Well, when you're the first at the time slave nation to fight against your oppressors, those oppressors were the French and the French, mainly the French, because it was under French rule. And then you also had the Polish, who were also in Haiti as well. They were Polish slave masters. And so when you're that type of country, and then also France says, people start dying off and people start saying, oh, well, the reason why the Haitians won because they was using voodoo and stuff like that, whatever. History has shown that it was the Haitian, it was black slaves and Taino tribes, some in slavery, some not, who fought off the French and the Polish in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one of Haiti's main natural resources was sugarcane, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
France, by the way, because Napoleon just hated black people. I mean, he hated black people so much that he went to Egypt and had the cannons blow off the noses and the faces off the sphinxes in Egypt that you see damaged today. You could thank Napoleon Bonaparte for that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also, another thing about Haiti is this:
Mm-hmm.
Haiti pays France reparations. Yeah, by force because the French threatened Haiti and said, if you don't pay us for our loss of property, which was the slaves, because the slaves fought back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, they had to pay France what you call a colonial tax. Colonial tax is a form of reparations, and Haiti is not the only country that's paying that.
And also let's dig into history a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go into Jacques Dessalines.
Mm-hmm.
Big up to I'm also married to the his grandchild, great grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, I'm married to her, to
Mm-hmm.
his great, cause
Right. She is a
she's a
descendant. She is a
she's
descendant of
a
that bloodline.
descendant
Yes.
of
Yes.
she's a descendant of Jacques Dessalines,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the one in 1803
Mm-hmm.
that
18 yeah.
won
1803. They got their
the
independence in 1804.
independence from 1804, got it in the first
Mm-hmm.
black slave nation
Nation
to get its
to get
independence.
the independence.
Haitian
And
get
yes.
independence,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
those who don't know, we let you know. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because of this,
Mm-hmm.
all the resources were Haiti seemed to be cursed because all the resources was squeezed out of Haiti.
Absolutely.
Because you see, the thing is, the rootless leaders that run Haiti, like Papa Doc and Duvalier, um, some of them took the money out the Swiss accounts and they did what they want to do and did not give back to the people. And this goes back to the supremacy mind of some of our people that we Haiti needs intervention now, like it needed intervention back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it even needs more intervention, even more so now, because because in this 2021 year, we're still seeing Haitian struggle to the utmost. Haitian struggle from where I went there in 2007, 2017, when I seen people living and walking in mud and living in mud and living in tents after the earthquake happened in 2012 or 11. And we still see people struggling from that, suffering from that in 2017. Now we jump to 2021, and Haiti still needs a whole lot of intervention, a lot of help. I went to Haiti and I seen that people said the money, when you give money, you send money to Haiti, you send money um to these organizations that say they're going to give the money to people. You send a donation, and the people say it don't get to them. The money don't get to them.
I got another
But
example of that.
but
Remember when?
but
Yeah.
there is some. I can't say all
Mm-hmm.
because the Christian ones like World Vision and Hope missions do lend a hand because I was part of Hope Mission. Have Haitians do get help from Hope Missions and they do get help from World Vision. Big up to those organizations because they do try their best to lend a hand in Haiti. But all organizations that say they're helping Haiti, I don't know. They don't.
Well, remember that big earthquake that they had, I'd say way over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Way long time ago. Remember all of those quote unquote organizations popped up, and they were using like, text this number, and then these proceeds go to this organization, and they can help the city. I mean, help the country, and also all those donations and stuff that they gave to the Clintons, and not one house was built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Within that year frame. So that answers also what you're saying about how people would send money, but the money wouldn't get to the actual people of Haiti, helping the people of Haiti. Okay, and also understand this: there's a master plan on why that country is also in that condition, still in that condition. But with that said, the misconception is that Haiti is just a slot bucket in a toilet. And if you go there, it just looks like walls and dirt, and people are not even could eat, and stomachs are touching their back and stuff like that. And that's not true. That's not true. Okay, but that's the perception of Haiti, because when people hear the word poor, they think of mud huts and flies, and plot bellies and flies on your face, and that is not Haiti. No,
Haiti. There are some beautiful parts of Haiti.
Thank you. Speak on that, please.
They don't talk about, because I was able to visit Haiti and stayed there for 7 days back in the summer of 2017. I did see some beautiful resorts, because if you go to it was a place called Cameroon in Haiti. They do have a basketball court. They do have a resort, like almost you seem like when you go to the resort, you seem like you're in not an island, because it's so beautiful. I wish people could see the pictures, because Haiti is a beautiful island, man. I mean, it's a beautiful country. You see this mountainous, and then when you go on the beach, it's white sand and blue water. So I was able to experience that too, because they don't show you the other parts of Haiti. There's another place in Haiti called Marsha, a beautiful area in Haiti, beautiful areas in Haiti that is not being revealed. All they show you is the rough and the. Not to say that Haiti's going through a lot of struggles, yes, but they do have some areas that are very, very beautiful, that you won't even think that you're in Haiti. You have to go there yourself, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not telling you to go to Haiti now. I'm not telling nobody to go to Haiti, but I'm just saying that don't believe the hype of the media. Don't believe the media shows you one thing.
Don't believe the propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda. Yeah.
Well, listen,
because it's propaganda.
Listen, you know the propaganda. They always show. Yeah. They always show black countries. Let's just just say it for how it is, man. They always show predominantly homogenous, populated black countries in the worst way. They do it right here in America. They show the black population here in the worst way. Come on now. If they can do it here in America, they can do it anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
People in this nation who don't know any better, and there's a lot that don't know any better, and then some who are just ignorant. They know better, but don't choose better. And then those who are in other countries, they'll have you thinking black people are just the laziest, crime-ridden, downtrodden, savage people in all of the world. So of course they're gonna do that with countries that have predominantly black populace. But I could name some countries that are not black at all that are doing worse than these countries that they say are doing bad. Hey.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you got countries, I don't want to go there, but there's a country right now where people are souffling rats and making meals out of them and serving it like it's gourmet dishes.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. I'll move, but I digress.
Souffle rats. Ooh.
But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's anything last you want to say before we get to the next topic?
I'm gonna move on from this topic now. Yeah, I'm good with this. Yeah, I'm good with this.
All right, Bill, Bill Cosby, aka Dr. Huxtable for those on TV, but Dr. Cosby, he's home.
Mm-hmm.
He's home.
Thank God. Thank God.
He's home. So here's the thing. Oh, wow. Sitcom star Charlie Robinson of Night Court, dead at 75.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. R.I.P. to him. Oh, my gosh. I remember that show.
I know this brother. I definitely know. Yeah, exactly. For those who remember Night Court, yeah, you got to think back.
Yeah, the 80s. Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s, but 80s. Yeah, Night Court. Oh, man. Rest in peace to him, man. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, to the Grace Dying Tree, man. You know, we just lost, what's the sister from the show that, what's the brother named? Robert Townsend. Mm-hmm. Sister from Robert Townsend that played the mother on the show. I think Parenthood?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, rest in peace to her.
Oh my Lord, she was sick. She was young, man. She was 60.
Yes, 64.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Suzanne Douglas.
Susan Douglas. R.I.P. to her. We can't forget her, man. You know, played in great. She played in the movie Top back in the 80s.
Beautiful woman too.
Oh yes, yes. She played with the late great Gregory Hines.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie called Top, she played. You know, like I said, Parenthood. She was good in that. You know, she did a lot of.
She was in.
She did a lot of.
She was in How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Yes, I remember that movie. How Stella Got Her Back. Oh yes, yes.
She was. You mentioned Jason's Lyric.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. I forgot about that. That did happen a few days ago.
Yeah.
Charlie Robinson. Others may know him. He for those who watched that show, The Game. He was a reoccurring character. He was the father of Jason Pitt's character. He was also in. Wasn't he also in Set It Off?
I believe so.
Yep, that was him.
Yeah.
That was him.
That was him?
Yep, yeah.
I
could have swore that was him when Jada was like, I'm in a bind. What'd she say? I'm in a bind, Nate. Whatever his name was in there. I think that's him. Let me make sure I got that correct. Was he in Set It Off? He was in Sugar Hill. Let me get the full thing on him. Let me get the
Wait a minute. Was he? Did he play Wesley Snipes' brother on Sugar Hill?
Nah, that was Leon.
That's not him. No,
yeah,
that's not him.
You think of this some that was Leon. Leon was Oh no, that wasn't Leon. That was the brother. That was the brother from That was the brother from the Five Heartbeats. That was Eddie Kane, that actor.
Eddie Kane. Yeah, Eddie Kane.
Yeah,
is a place for. Oh, I love that movie. Anyway, I love the 5 hour beats. Yeah. We gonna keep going. I love the 5 hour beats. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is a place. Remember that joint? All
Word.
right.
A heart is a house of
House.
love that I learned.
Classic film. Y'all gotta see that classic film.
Yeah,
Five
man.
Heart. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
rest in peace, man. Condolences, man. Yep, he was in Set It Off. His character was Nate. For those who've seen Set It Off, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Cause yeah. Anyway, look, let's get into let's get back into Bill. I just got
Yeah.
sidetracked because I was going on Facebook. We're recording. What's today? July 12th. That's when we're recording this. But yeah. So look, let's talk about this whole situation. People are upset at Judge Joe Brown because he had a strong opinion. He was on BNC network, Black News Channel. I don't know where you get that channel at, but I just so happened to see the video on YouTube, and he felt very strongly. He said Bill shouldn't have been arrested to begin with. The women wanted the drugs. Bill supplied it. I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna get into who wanted what, but what I am gonna say is this. Remember the first trial, right? That got thrown out, and then they brought him back in, and then got him that way. Let's talk about so many women who had who before there was even a trial was on I forgot what magazine that was. It was like 30 women or whatever, all claiming what Bill did, what he did and everything. And then when it came down to actual court time, I don't recall all of those women coming forward and testifying anything.
Right.
Well, because you could say somebody did something, but then when you're now under oath and you could face perjury charges, that's where it becomes real. I always say it's one thing to talk about something until it happens for real. You know what I'm saying? And so, for that, this is why Bill is home, because he never admitted to doing it without their consent. Did he admit of knowledge of the drugs? Yes, Quaalude, Spanish Fly, whatever it was, he admitted that. But he didn't admit, he didn't. The whole case was trying to prove, did he do it without their consent? And there was no real evidence of that. So this is why Bill's home, because technically, by law, he shouldn't have been thrown in jail to begin with, based off what the law says about what was admitted, what wasn't admitted, what evidence was found, what evidence was not found. So
right.
He's ruled innocent in this situation. Now, do people strongly believe that Bill is guilty? Yeah. Just like people think O.J. Simpson is guilty after all these years. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So, Zacchaeus, what's your take on this, man?
Well, I have a whole lot to say on it, because to me it goes back into the days of when we see black men. We have a history of being falsely accused of rape.
Well, crime period, but especially
crime period, but rape.
Yeah, rape's like
yeah,
good Lord. Rape and murder gets thrown around big time. False accusations.
You can't. And of course, supremacy likes to portray say that all trying to bring all these facts up about Bill, and they, and it goes back to always being accused of being raped. Now, Bill Cosby stood his ground, and I believe him. He said he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, because remember, Bill was trying to make a big venture.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, at the time he was trying to make a big venture, and all of a sudden now, all these women, no matter what race they are, came out and spoke up against. This is part of the supremacy plan. Came up and they spoke out against Bill,
Mm-hmm.
trying to sabotage him. And of course, if you have 5, 6, 7 women coming out with the same allegations,
Yeah.
of course people are gonna say, "Oh, if more than one person saying it, that means he is guilty."
Yeah.
Not so.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, yeah, there's something fishy about this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not so. And that's what got Bill arrested. Not so. Because if he didn't do it, he didn't do it. No matter how much people come in and say he did it. If he didn't do it, he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to squash Bill and destroy him. They even tried to at one time take the reruns of the Bill Cosby show.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did take it off during that
Yeah,
time.
you know what I'm saying? During that time, you know what I'm saying? So they tried to destroy him and trample on his mud. Especially this is a Me Too movement. You got to be careful, brothers. Especially if you're in the spotlight, you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're always being accused. You go back to the Central Park 5, being accused,
Mm-hmm.
being falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett Till was falsely accused.
Rosewood.
Rosewood falsely
accused. Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Falsely accused.
Falsely accused. Tulsa Greenwood. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet y'all don't know this one. Jeremiah Reeves, age 22, was accused of raping a white woman. He was like in 1950, it's like 1952. He was accused of raping a white woman. Accused of raping a white woman. And he was executed end of 1950s. He was executed because he was accused of raping a white woman. Now, he was just working in the grocery store. He was a musician. He played jazz, working in the grocery store, and all of a sudden he's accused of raping a white woman. He was executed, and that caused an uproar. He was falsely accused because if you read the article on Jeremiah Reeves, he was falsely accused. We went into his situation. Another situation, Ocoee, Florida massacre. That's a massacre that people don't really talk about. It's very little. They talk about that. That happened in I believe that happened in after that 1930s and 40s. I think the 40s it happened. Where uproar when a white woman tried to rape, and the whole city of Ocoee, I think I'm saying it right, went into a uproar, and blacks were killed there. All of a white woman falsely accusing a black man of raping her, but yeah, she was beaten by her husband. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And look, it's 2021, and a man like Bill Cosby is being accused, and yeah, so it's a history. There's a history in this. It didn't just happen overnight. There's a history.
Well, look at it this way.
Yeah.
They hated Bill so much that they came after Felicia Rashad too.
Oh.
To smear her and hurt her career and stuff like that because she spoke up for Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For those who don't know who you should know, unless you've been living under a rock, who Felicia Rashad is.
You gotta know.
She was his TV wife on not only the Bill Cosby show, but also his other show, Cosby. You know what I'm saying? That's Claire Huxtable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, man.
Look, they tried to come for her Okay, they're still trying to come for her. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
But
man.
but
So
let's talk about this, the whole, what's going on, and how I feel the intention was with Bill. I think they were hoping Bill died in jail.
I think that was the motive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I believe that they wanted to give him so much stress
Mm-hmm.
at his age, and I think they wanted that. I
Yeah,
really
they
do think
wanted
they
that
wanted. They
man
wanted.
dead in prison. They wanted him to age out and die in prison because the amount of years that they gave him, technically, he would have died in prison if he would have still stayed there. And remember,
Yeah, yeah,
they went for a hearing during COVID-19 because you had all these people getting out of jails and prison for COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? And they tried
hmm
to get him out, and the judge overturned that. You know what I'm saying? They wanted Bill to die in there.
yeah, yeah. Which is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is the truth. They wanted to tarnish his name and let him die in prison. This is evil, man.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you.
if I'm Bill, I'd stay away from people, man. Don't trust nobody, man, because I feel like um they'll they'll let you celebrate today just so they could take away your breath tomorrow. So if I was him, I'd stay away from people. I'd probably stay away from interviews, everything. And you know, he got a couple questions asked when he outside when he got out. They was like, "Well, you're a free man," and they asked him a couple questions. He let his lawyers answer the questions as opposed to him
Right,
answering the
right,
question. But
right.
I'm pretty sure people are dying to talk to this man just for a ratings thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. But if I was him, I wouldn't. I think
Yeah,
eventually, I think he is going to talk. Okay, I think somebody's going to pull up, give him the bag. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
say, hey, we want to, talk to you, and your first interview since being out. We want to know your experience. We want to know what you think about these women, what you think about the justice system.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did this to break Bill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure they're gonna want that. What,
Yeah.
what do you think should happen now, man? I mean, I want them to leave him alone, but what you think they should happen, man?
I think Bill should be, because of his age, I think he should be relaxing now.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it easy, one day at a time. Stay away from the spotlight.
Yeah.
Stay away eventually I guess he's gonna speak sell his testimony, but stay away from all platform, like spotlights, because sometimes they set you up to get, they just dying to pick at what you're gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
so I think you should stay away from the spotlight and TMZ and all that stuff, I think so. Yeah.
Man, stay far away from TMZ.
Yeah.
The last people I want him to ever deal with. Okay.
Yeah.
TMZ just loves black pain. Like, for real, they love to report it, man. You ever notice that? A lot of their tabloid stuff in the beginning, a lot of their tabloid stuff didn't have black people in it at all. It was mainly white celebrities. Then they discovered more people want to know about some of these black celebrities. So a lot of the things that they report on is a lot of black stuff. I've been noticing that a lot of a lot of controversy that surrounds black people.
Mm.
So TMZ is the last people that I would want Bill to even look at. Don't even look at. I don't even want to even hear the words TMZ. The words T, but it's the letters T. Don't even utter that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I don't know. I don't know. But so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's home, man. He's home. This justice system is interesting, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's really go there. One of the things that that I noticed, right, is that you could say that the justice system is fair, but you would be lying. That would be a lie because when you look at the
Mm.
stats, you see exactly what it favors, and you also see that um, others seem to have more of a chance to tell their story, um, to clear their name or at least prove their innocence. Uh, I mean, because they say it's innocent till proven guilty, but what you see for most black people and other people of color, you know, other non-white people, that is guilty until proven innocent. So you already take away any justice due when it comes to that anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's already one sided. You know what I mean? So that already is an issue. And so
Yeah.
in the case of Bill, that exactly what's going on with Bill. Bill was already seen as guilty before innocent. And they had to prove Bill didn't have, if anything, they had to prove that their accusations were correct. Uh, and they didn't do that effectively. Instead, put Bill in a position to prove that what he did, to prove that he's not guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
Yeah, man.
it's that stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just happy that he's out, and I'm just happy that he's finally going to live his life in peace, man. Because and it was taken away from him, unjustly taken away from him for a short period, for this period of time, So, I'm God don't like ugly, and the truth must come out, and it came
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and it came out, and justice, and I believe justice it wasn't totally served because the man served time
Mm-hmm.
for something that he didn't do. He was falsely accused of something he didn't do.
How long was he in there, man?
Man, it had to be at least 3.5 years, at least.
Yeah, yeah, just about, yeah.
It was a while ago. Yeah, he was in there. Bill was in there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect him because he still didn't bow down. He didn't say that, oh, I did it. They were applying pressure to him, trying to push him to say he did it. And he still stood his ground and said, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So he gets he gets the applause, man, because he still stood his ground and he didn't do it. So yeah, you know, I, let me tell you something. The devil is busy, and those women were there to, and I think he was trying to buy a network, and those women were there to just destroy and tarnish especially Bill Cosby is a legend,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the movie scenes, in sitcom, and in the movie scene. So and in what do you call it, animation,
Mm-hmm.
he's a legend.
Yeah, Fat Albert.
That, yeah, that's what we grew up to.
Pop the Brown Hornet.
Yeah, that's what we grew up to.
Wait, was it no the green? Is it the Green Hornet or the? I'm gonna get
The
him
brown,
confused with the
the brown,
rapper.
the
The
brown,
Brown Hornet. Yeah, yeah,
the brown hornet. Yeah, the brown
yeah,
hornet. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they was trying to tarnish his image. Bill Cosby was a positive model for black youth,
Mm-hmm.
black American
Mm-hmm.
in the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So they was trying to tarnish that image by sending all these false accusations and allegations. So I'm glad he's out to live his peace. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bless. Yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
anything else you want to say on this, because we're gonna wrap the show up soon.
No, I'm good. I'm good from here, man. And big up to Bill Cosby. Thank God he's out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And
we're gonna get a. We're gonna. Oh, no, sorry, you was about to say something else.
no, yeah. Those who tuned in, thanks for tuning in for real.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
we got more coming. We got more coming. We got more. We got more.
yeah. We do.
Got more to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
go back to being weekly. We've had some schedule conflicts. Not bad. Just certain things just tied up from time to time. But we're gonna be more back to being more consistent about finishing the season out and uploading our episodes every Friday. So we appreciate y'all for still rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna we definitely gonna get it together, and we got some more topics. We had to get into this type of topic because it's current, especially the situation with Haiti. So, really can't ignore that because I don't trust the media to tell that news properly and objectively.
Right.
I honestly
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing the media trying to make it seem like the man deserved it, and Haiti's just a slot bucket. So let them kill each other kind of attitude. That's basically what I'm getting from the media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't trust that. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
So
That's
Zacchaeus,
right.
let them know where they can reach you, man.
Yo, you can reach me on Facebook, Wayne Zacchaeus Bacchus on Facebook, also on Twitter, Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter, also on Instagram, Zacchaeus B73 on Instagram. Hit me up, y'all.
Yeah, get at me at the Fifth General on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, so we're gonna get up out of here. This is another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host Zacchaeus and the Fifth General, and we'll see y'all next episode.